Welcome to Spiritual Awakening with yours truly, A.G. Green Sr. You know what to do. Tag, text, and share. Text, tag, and share. Let people know that we are streaming live and there is a powerful, profound message waiting on them. Quickly, if you don't mind, let me know if you can see and hear me well. Please let me know if you can see and hear me well. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. To make sure that you can see and hear me well. So I'm waiting on your feedback concerning that. All right, loud and clear. Says my Krista. Thank you so much. Greetings. It's time to vibe with our tribe. Hey to everyone. You know what time it is. It's time for us to connect. And it's time for us to vibe on every level possible. Tag, share, and text. Text, share, and tag. Let some folk know that we are streaming live right now. And we've got some wonderful things that we are going to share with them on this particular evening. Now, before we do that, let's pray. Almighty, we're so thankful and grateful. You are the creator, the source, the sustainer of all things. And we just thank you and praise you that your will is done, your way is done, in us, with us, and through us. Speak directly from the infinite self that you are in us and within us, even from within this created cosmos, that which we experience in both the spiritual and the natural. We bless you. We are thankful. We are so grateful. And so open. So we are led and guided by your truth. When we do this, we pray. Example, the name, the way, the power, Yeshua, HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, the Jesus Christos. It is so, and so it is. So glad to see everybody who is viewing me live, whether it's in the evening or whether you're watching in replay at some other time. Let me tell you how honored and privileged I am that you are taking out time in your schedule just to come by, as somebody would say, and connect with little old me and our wonderful tribe. And I love how y'all speak as you come in to this space. It is a space of consciousness. It is a safe space for all. But it is a tribe, and we vibe together. And I love how you all love on each other, celebrate each other, speak to each other. And we're going to keep that going on this particular day. I always like to remind you of what the biblical text says. Now to him that is able to do exceeding abundant above all that we ask or think. It's according to the power that worketh in us. One writer says, in him we live and move and have our being. We are one with God and God is one with us. We are connected to an infinite power source as divine spiritual species. Therefore, we're not powerless. We're not weak nor impotent, but we are powerful. I want you to type in the comment section and speak out loud. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. That's it. Type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Come on. Embrace the power. Know the power. See the power. Recognize the power. Utilize the power. Come on. Speak it right now, family. I am powerful. And I declare and decree that as we speak it, we're elevating in consciousness, we're elevating in awareness, and we are accessing deeper dimensions of wisdom, knowledge, peace, joy, fulfillment, and of course, power, raw power to manifest anything our hearts desire. That's right. Type it in the comment section. Speak it out loud to yourself. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. Yes, I am powerful. What a wonderful thing it is To know that you know that you know that I am powerful. What a wonderful thing. What a blessed thing. What an honor and what a privilege it is to know that you know that you know that you are powerful. Now, real quickly, before I get into the announcements, I do want to put up a couple of make sure you're following the various social media sites. I've been saying this for a little while, but I'm working around the clock the first 30 days of this year to get all of my social media channels in line. Feel free to help me if you so desire. Feel free to connect with me if you so desire. Okay? In terms of helping me put up all of this wonderful content. All right. And you can still visit us at aggreen.com. A new site is coming in the next couple of months. And of course, you can visit us shopdivinespeciesshop.com. And of course, you visit us online at patreon.com/aggreen now. Now listen, I'm going to be sharing some more information about our Patreon channel in just a few minutes. But guess what I want to do? Guess what I want to do? I want to check in with you. What's good? What's good? What's good? Tell me how your week is going thus far. Talk back to us. Tell me how your week is going thus far. We want to hear about you. Mine has been quite eventful, quite busy, but nevertheless, I am glad to have the activities of my limbs and to be able to have optimal mobility. It is great to be alive and to be connected. So you tell me real quickly what's good. Tell me about your week. Tell me how things have been going thus far for you. All right. And we'll see if anybody has logged into our Patreon community. And I'll also be gathering their thoughts as well. But real quickly, how's your week been going thus far? I am most definitely curious to know how your week has been going. Real quickly, don't everybody speak up at one time. Let's see here, our resident therapist, Jerry Cotton says, week has been steady and peaceful. I am overwhelmed with gratitude. He says, I'm ready. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anybody else want to share how their week has been going thus far? I definitely want to hear. This is my way of checking in with you. This is my way of checking on you. Okay. How has your week been going thus far? All right. Not trying to be nosy, just trying to check in with you. And remember, this is subjective. Whatever you say and however you speak of your own life is your business. And if by chance you want some support with that, I'm here to support you in any way that I possibly and potentially can. But yes, tell me real quickly, how has your week been going thus far? Is our resident therapist the only one who's going to speak up? Come on, talk back to me. Talk back to me. Is he the only one who's going to speak up and tell us how his week? All right, my Chris is in his house. She says, my week has been very well, feeling peaceful. Wonderful, wonderful. Anyone else? Anyone else want to share how your week has been going thus far? I am most definitely interested in knowing, and your tribe is here as well. We are all sharing. This is a safe space and a safe place. All right. Thank those who spoke up today and shared how their week has been going thus far. I want you to know that I most definitely appreciate it. Let's see. Monica says, my week has been very interesting, empowering for sure. All right. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us. So I want to take a few minutes before I get into the teaching tonight. And resident therapist, of course, he keeps up with these installments. We're going to stay in the same vein that I was in on the last spiritual awakening. We were talking about doing the work, and I'm going to expand on some points I already made. I have a few more points I'm going to make over the next several weeks with you and for you. But I want to encourage you as a community to make sure you make the investment in your personal, spiritual, psychological, physical, and growth in other areas. And the way that you do that is studying to show yourself approved. And the way that we study, it can be studying through observation. It can be studying through reading. It can be studying through prayer, meditation, seeking the Creator, hearing from the divine, uh, hearing from spirit guides and spiritual sources and spiritual resources. It could be contributing and participating. There are various ways that we can study. It could be OJT, meaning that we are practicing what we are hearing and what we are learning. I want you to understand that my background is that I have a passion for knowledge. And of course, it's not just knowledge, it really is wisdom, which is the proper application of knowledge. I want you to know and to understand that this community is a community that's about a growth mindset, spiritual expansion, intellectual expansion, psychological expansion, physiological, physical expansion, and expansion in all areas, all dimensions, all realms that pertain to our existence. So, as I am at this point, and I'm manifesting a team, and it's all of us really, this community in Patreon is designed to help you in your journey. And I'm going to be rolling out probably next month uh, this identity framework teaching, integrated teaching that I'm going to be doing that I've really been doing all this time. But I want you to know that my goal and my desire is to place everything in Patreon right now that is necessary for your vitality, and within the realm of your vitality, the growth and expansion, enabling you to evolve, transform, and to ascend. So I'm encouraging you, when you scroll through your community, scroll within your community. And this community is going to grow tremendously this year because you and I are going to manifest it together. And as I'm receiving guidance on how to grow it and expand it, I'm going to apply it. That's what I'm in the process of doing. It's just a process, is what it is. But I want you to realize some changes have been made this week. I've added an additional tier where I have further defined what each tier represents. I am going to be more specific in the information that I share on each level. So each level, I'm going to be sharing deeper and deeper information because those people have made that investment. So for example, do you realize that the gurus and people who are experts and so forth and so on, there's a reason why they can charge $5,000 for a course, $2,000 for a course. Some of them have these weekends that they sponsor, and it costs you 50,000, 100,000. Some of them more than that. You know why? Because what they're going to encounter in that course or in the course of that weekend is going to potentially radically alter and shift their reality. They recognize that. And so you have to make the investment. And for those who are willing to make the investment, I'm going to do the best I can to feed. I used to say this when I first started pastoring several years ago in the traditional space. And then I used to tell visitors and I used to tell new members, one thing I'm going to tell you over here is you're going to be fed over here. You're going to be fed over here. There may have been some folk who said, I outgrew this place. But for the most part, they probably were talking about relationships because I've always been blessed to teach from a depth. And I'm going to feed you from the depths. From the surface to the depths, you're going to be fed. Okay. So your personal evolution, your personal journey is very relevant and important to me. Let me share some updates that I have made in the last couple of days. Now, I want you to type the word collections in the comment section. Type the word collections in the comment section. The word collections in the comment section. Type the word collections in the comment section. Type the word collections in the comment section. Real quickly, the word collections in the comment section. I'm showing you how to navigate Patreon. Family, don't just, I want you to look at the posts, okay? And I want you to understand uh, it's not just the study, but the other methods that I use to write these articles, to come up with ideas, so forth and so on. There's a lot of effort and time that is going into developing the subject matter for you. One of the key ways that you can grow and expand is to investigate in Patreon our collections. Okay. Now, I'm going to start with the first 6. They have been named and they have been defined. And these collections are named based on subjects that might be of interest to you or whoever comes by. Now, again, you're going to find in the upcoming months that even when you search collections, there's some things that might not be accessible to your tier, and that's fine. Manifest, make it a greater investment so that you can go to the next tier and actually access that information. This is a community that's deconstructing and detoxing from religion. And it's not just a deconstruction, it's a reconstruction of self, a reconstruction of identity, a reconstruction in terms of uh, growing and flowing as a divine spiritual species, understanding what that means in conjunction with who we are in terms of the integration into the three-dimensional physical world, mind, will, and emotions. How do all these things come into play, as well as studying, researching, and dealing with subjects from a spiritual, metaphysical, religious, and other viewpoints. So therefore, I want to make sure that when you visit, you can pick out subjects that are a part of your growth and a part of your development. And if you see in collections, maybe a subject you have an interest in that you want me to discuss, bring somebody in to discuss and add to the collections, please speak up within the community and I will take a look at that. So as you can see, let me see if I got the right one up. Look like let me go up here a little bit. I'm looking for that other, let's see, it might be this one. This is the one nope, not that one. I'll get it. There we go, right there. Under collections. This is at the top. And what you're seeing is a view from my cell phone. A view from my cell phone. Okay. Thank you. Our resident therapist says this is extremely helpful. I'm seeing things I didn't realize it offers. So for example, under the collections, God source creator, there are going to be specific articles. Let me break it down. And when you click on each picture, it'll take you inside and show you what that section is going to cover. We're going to talk about God, the source and the creator. I'm going to click on the picture, for example, to read the explanation there. This collection covers, you get access to information that discusses the history of God and religion. Is the God of the Bible the same throughout the whole scripture, or actually a collection of different gods confused as one? Is there a true God? Watch, read, and make up your own mind. So this section is going to be dealing strictly with God. And I posed a question in the description because we've been taught univocality from a traditional Christian perspective. But is that really just one God speaking from what's presented from these writers from Genesis to Exodus, or has what has research shown in the possibility that it's not really as univocal as it has been presented to be. But there are multiple voices of different variations of what people groups consider to be their supreme deity. So you've got God, the source, the creator. You've got Yeshua. There's a blog series and a teaching series coming out later this year that's going to deal with the traditional Jesus um, versus the historical Jesus. That tab, that collection is going to cover information that pertains to that. And always put references so you can go back and read articles and read books and different things from experts that I have drawn from, or the resources I've drawn from to present this information. My pop-ups, when I popped up the latter part of last year and showing you how to end your year strong, that's a pop-up. It's something that's not really scheduled. I just decide maybe in the last couple of days, the spirit puts something on my heart I need to talk about. I put the information together and I just pop up. I might still, many times, put out an advance notice within Patreon, okay? And then you see it by email or in the post and you show up with me. That's what a pop-up is. Deconstructing religion. There's like 30 pieces of information in there about that. That could be posts. That could be blog articles. Anything that helps us deconstruct religion is under the collection tab. Now, let me ask you the question. Is there anybody in here besides me and a couple other people? Let me see who's literally in the process right now of deconstructing religion. Type, if that's you in the comment section, type yes. If it's not you, then it's not you. But I want to see who's deconstructing religion right now. Type yes or no in the comment section. I want to see that. And if you are a yes, then deconstructing religion, that tab has all kinds of information thus far that's going to contribute to helping you deconstruct religion. Now, again, I want to say this to people who are doing drive-bys, and I want to say this to people who might be trying to spy. This is not a traditional Christian group. It's just not what it is. This is a group that has crossed over, not just crossed over, but ascended to a higher plane and a higher dimension. All right. We are deconstructing. That's exactly what we're doing. So our approach to the text is not going to be the same as traditional Christian approaches. It's more spiritual and metaphysical. You hang with us and you will see from the teachings exactly what I'm discussing. Fortunately, I have an education, of course, in traditional theology, Christology, so forth and so on, added to what I am learning and embracing now in terms of the metaphysical and the mystical. We tie those in together for people who are sick and tired of religion. We know there's more to God than what has been presented to us. The next tab is Revolution Sundays. If you miss Sunday, go to the collection tab. Every Revolution Sunday that streams, if you want to go back and see it, you don't have to go down the post timeline. Go to collections, click Revolution Sundays. Spiritual Awakenings, okay, same thing. Video clips, there's going to be tons and tons of video clips. Do you realize right now, some of these clips I periodically put on social media, I probably got 200 clips. Yeah, probably 100 to 100, no, 100 to 200 clips right now on this hard drive that have never been released that are from previous teachings. I'm putting those clips in there for you, okay? A few of those will go on TikTok and other places, but the soil and the major collection of teachings right now from me is in Patreon. So there's going to be tons and tons of clips that cover various different subjects, all right? The architecture of being blog. So it used to be just called a blog. I changed the name. All the blog articles are written in there, and to me, in my opinion, they're pretty good articles that have discussed a few things that I felt were necessary in the early stages of this community to help expand us, grow us, increase us. Right there, click that tab, the architecture of being blog. And let me read the explanation of what it is. Explore how consciousness, identity, and inner alignment shape the life we experience. Through reflective inquiry grounded in spirituality, psychology, and metaphysics, this blog examines the deeper structures beneath belief, perception, and becoming. It is written for readers who sense that personal evolution requires intention, responsibility, and inner coherence, not merely inspiration. All right. Hear me. Every blog that will be written on any subject will always be in the architecture of being blog collection. The Divine You podcast, I haven't made any in a couple of months. In February or March of 26, I'll start those up again. It's just a lot of work and other things that I'm doing. But you can go there and witness or watch or excuse me, listen to every podcast that I've done thus far. Casual conversations. That's me just popping up to chill and talk. Okay. You see that I'm streaming from the house. There might be times I just, want to have a conversation with you about whatever, politics or cooking or whatever. Hey, this is not a formal community only. This is an informal community. We are a tribe. We are family. So there are times I want to pop up and I just don't want to talk about, subject matter I've been speaking on. I just want to talk. I want to hang out with y'all. I want to chill. I want to see what's going on with you, and I want you to have some insight into what's going on in my life. So that's what casual conversations with me are going to be about. The Scholars Corner. Now, I'm featuring major scholars in the Scholars Corner. Let me see where I am now. Let me put that one up real quickly so you can keep up with me. That is, don't hold it against me. I might get the wrong one. Let me see if this is it. No, that's probably not it. It might be this one right here. Okay, there we go. Well, actually, it was the last one I had. The Scholars Corner, there it is. I'm going to have videos from modern day scholars and ancient scholars that's going to show up in the Scholars Corner. So even watch this, if I do some teaching parallel to some of these scholars to echo points they make and show you specifically, you're going to be able to find their specific information in the Scholars Corner. Now, let me say this to you, and I don't mean any harm when I say this. I don't mean any harm when I say this because I'm including myself in this statement. The average person that you're listening to teaching and preaching behind a pulpit every Sunday, they are 99.99% of them are not scholars. They are teaching from handing down theology, and they are matriculating through schools that have no interest in truth, because I graduated with multiple degrees from these schools. They recycle information, and when new information does come to light, it is funneled through a filter to make it fit the belief system. So truth is not truly excavated and explored. Okay, anything that appears to be information that does not align with their belief system, then they're going to find a way to renegotiate it to make it fit. Well, I want to bring scholars on who don't do that. I want to bring scholars on, and there will be recordings, many of them from their own, places I discover on YouTube and different places across the web. I'm going to bring that information in so you won't have to scour it yourself. And they're going to be talking on various different subjects. Right now, Dan McClellan has several videos that I've used of his. I got more from him, Bart Ehrman, and several other scholars. They're going to be under the Scholars Corner. Next to that is you see is portals. All right. Whether you believe in portals or not, it is believed to be an astrological, spiritual, and metaphysical experience by some communities. Now, listen, I'm teaching you to manifest your own reality, not in connection with what happens in the stars. But I do believe that the stars are messengers, and I do believe in the energetic connection from the sun, the moon, and a universe itself that is full of energy, and that is energy itself. Last but not least, I do believe that the heavens do speak, the heavens do declare, the heavens do contain a message. Okay, so that will be covered also under portals. Okay, whether you believe it or not, it's going to be information in there to discuss what portals are from various different experts. Okay, let me move on to the next one, and I'm done. Then I'm gonna get into this teaching. Let's see here. Make sure I put that up correctly. I probably got that wrong. Let's see here. Let me get the right one up. There we go, right there. Metaphysical musings. Metaphysical musings is going to be deep discussions about from the metaphysical perspective on all kinds of subjects, on all kinds of texts, including the biblical text. All right. That will go in that collections tab. Then knowledge revolution. Again, I use that sparingly. When I want to drop some knowledge, I'm going to use knowledge revolution. The next one is meditations. Type it in the comment section, meditations. Type that in the comment section, meditations. Type that in the comment section, meditations. I've been promising you that. Forgive me, but I'm going to get around to it, even if I have to draft some of y'all from within this community who know how to effectively meditate. I'm going to get with a group of people, okay? In addition to myself, I'm going to make some meditations. They're going to be video meditations on all kinds of subjects. But if you're out there and you have this ability, let's connect. We can find a way to get you filmed and put whatever meditation up in the community that you think is going to help and empower people. That's what the meditations tab is about. Divine Species merch, shop merch. I'm expanding the Divine Species shop store. Okay. I'm expanding the store. Okay. In the upcoming weeks. So you'll see more and more offerings in the store, affirmations, prayers, all kinds of stuff that you'll be able to purchase from that store. I actually have an Etsy store, and I'm going to put a lot of stuff that's in that store in this store. All right. Inspiration. Inspiration. Thank y'all. Look like my brother Brian is on tonight. Good to see you, Brian White, out of Houston, Texas. All right. Inspiration. There's 189 pieces of information in there on inspiration. Matter of fact, I think some of that is available for free members and the rest for paid tiers. Okay. Whatever form of inspiration that comes into the Patreon community or something we think is inspirational will go in that tab. Okay. Also understand that in collections, it's possible for something to be in more than one collection. All right. But whatever tab like inspiration, if it shows up there, it's because there's something being said in a post, something being said in a video that's going to inspire your journey. And last but not least is community check-in. Community check-in. You want to check the community check-in because we're going to put announcements in there. Okay. Announcements are going to go there. I want to get Hillary back up doing announcements, not just what we do on Sundays, but putting things in there periodically. I have some staff, they don't even know that they have access to YouTube and this. I got to get with them. We've just been busy. I've moved, come back to Georgia, all of that. Just a lot of stuff that I've had to do. But in community check-in, this is where the announcements are going to be. This is where we keep you updated on what's going on in the Revolution Inc. community, again, which is being incorporated this year. And we'll be rolling out more information about that. So again, we'll be talking about a lot of things in the community check-in. Check these tabs because it can be confusing, family, when you go in there and you see a bunch of posts. Well, the way to simplify that is to go to the collections. And let me tell you something, family. There's hours and hours and hours of good reading and good video watching in there. I'm going to say it again. There's hours and hours and hours. If you want to just sit around and learn, if you want to sit around and absorb new knowledge, okay, that's the place to be. And again, I'm going to be expanding more in the collections as time goes on. That's what we have now. And I'm going to make sure that those collections are filled with information that's going to empower you in your spiritual, psychological, and physical walk, or spiritual, psychological, and physical journey. Okay, so I just wanted to cover that. This is why your membership is necessary. Yeah, this is why joining this community is necessary. Okay, because I'm going to make sure, whether you like it or not, whether you agree or disagree, it's going to be there. You can read it, you can pray, you can seek the Creator, you can seek the Spirit, you can seek God on your own and decide. But this is a deconstructing community. So I'm going to make sure that you have all the information necessary to deconstruct. Thank y'all so much for hanging with me and letting me go through that explanation for y'all. I really, really appreciate it. And my last announcement I'm going to make, and let's get into that teaching. Let's see here. We're talking about doing the work. Last announcement is this, family. First of all, tell me what y'all think about this background real quickly. This is the background in the house, my house in Georgia. What do you all think about this background? What do you think about this background? What you think about this background? Austin, what do you think, Austin Lee?
I think it looks good.
All right. I let him come on camera because he's in the background talking about good. Like, all right, tell me what y'all think about the background. The reason why I'm asking is because this is a background that we're going to use for a while. So I'm not going to have to go on YouTube. All right. Remember, we went on YouTube because uh, when I have to paste a link from YouTube into Patreon, you can't see each other's comments in real time. And where I was before, I didn't like the background, and I wanted to be able to still use the artificial background. Remember on Spiritual Awakening, you used to see that artificial background with that picture of me saying "Way with Revolution Sunday." Well, now I'll be able to. I won't need an artificial background. I'll be able to do it from within Patreon and going live directly from within Patreon, just like we can all see each other's comments on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, you'll also be able to see each other's comments in real time, family. Okay, within Patreon. So you know me, I'm going to make an announcement. Yeah, that's my 10-year-old Austin. That's my man. Uh, and let you know when we will start streaming exclusively from within Patreon. Exclusively from within Patreon. Okay. So that's coming in the next week or so. Check the community announcements. Make sure you catch the videos live and replay. I'm going to announce it live and then we'll put it in our community announcements. And of course, it'll be in the post on the regular feed when we start streaming exclusively from within Patreon. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Let me find our resident therapist. He says this is part 4. Do the work, the architecture of creation. Do the work, the architecture of creation. I was thinking about a text Yeshua said, and it's not really, it's somewhat in alignment with what we're discussing. He said, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day, for when the night come, he said, or when the night cometh, no man can work. Now, he's talking about purpose. And, you know, when you look into the background of the word work and what it means in Greek and so forth and so on, it's an interesting treasure trove of discovery. But in order for you and I to do the work before we cross over, before we transition, before the sunset of the natural life hits, we must first do the inner work. We must do the inner work. And I have learned that there are a lot of people who want results without doing the inner work. I'm not talking about manual labor. I'm not talking about physical labor. I'm talking about spiritual inner work, mental and psychological inner work. And of course, at times, the inner work to master the body, to master the flesh from a health perspective or from a discipline or self-control perspective. I want you to know that doing the work is of the utmost importance. And there are a lot of things people are uh, aspiring to be. They are aspiring to be. They desire to see manifestation happen in their lives. And when I say manifestation, I'm not just talking about material things. I'm talking about the manifestation of an evolved or ascended identity, the manifestation of maybe healing and wholeness in their body, or the manifestation of healing and wholeness in their mind, or the manifestation of healing and wholeness in relationships, or the manifestation of success in their career. What they must understand, and I'm going to continue to drive this point home, you can do all the things you want to do. You can pray, you can meditate, you can fast, you can script, you can declare and decree, you can show up physically and work your jobs, or you can show up, you can enter into a school and say, I'm on my way to becoming this, that, the other. But until You do the inner work. And within the framework of that inner work, confront yourself, discard the parts of you that need to be discarded, and take on a new identity. You're going to be the one who's constantly trying but never becoming. Wow. I'm going to say it again. You're going to be the one who's constantly trying but never becoming. Let me look at my time. I know I took some time with those announcements, so I'm going to uh, be conscientious of time tonight. I want you to understand that as it relates to doing the work, embodiment is creation. I'm going to say it again. Embodiment is creation. Now, a lot of times when we talk about manifesting something, I think the formula at times is misunderstood. Yes, we talk about a mental exercise. We talk about visualizing the outcome. We talk about feeling good. And we talk about waiting in patience. But I do want you to understand that those things are reductions that miss the deeper metaphysical truth recognized across mystical traditions, depth psychology, and modern behavior science. In other words, manifestation is not about imagining a thing, it is about becoming the kind of person that reality is normal. I'm going to say it again. It is about becoming the kind of person for whom that reality is normal. Let me put that in the comment section. Let me put that in the comment section. And I'm going to put it up on the screen because I really want us, like we see those cows chewing cud, I want us to chew on this. It's not about imagining a thing. It is about becoming the kind of person for whom that reality is normal. And again, family, that's not only proof from spiritual traditions, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, ancient Hindu texts, the Kabbalah, and other ancient texts that talk about embodiment and talk about becoming something first. It's proven scientifically. It's proven in psychology. It's proven in those fields of study that are devoted to examining the mind, examining thoughts, examining the will, examining emotions. I want you to understand that it's something as simple as, I don't want to say simple as, I paraphrase that. Something like being a mechanic. If you have a dream to be a master mechanic, yes, you're going to school to learn how to work on vehicles. That's true. But unless you take on the identity of a mechanic, you'll still be a person trying to become it. I have studied some of the greatest people in history. And don't get me wrong, there are some people who were blindsided by their success. But many of them, even the ones who were blindsided by their success, had embodied that desire to the point that they became it. And after they became it, the success manifested in terms of their vocation, their career, or whatever path that they were on in life. They received exposure because they did it at such a high level, or the spotlight was on them at the right time as they executed. But they had already embodied it. They already were it. All right. For example, Obama, a community organizer in the Chicago area. All right. And eventually became a senator, a federal senator, a U.S. senator, embodied the presidency, embodied, watch this, embodied uh, an, a regality, an intellectual energy, a caring and a compassion. He embodied some of the principles and tools necessary to be successful and ascend to the highest levels. Before anybody knew that, he had already decided in his heart he was that. Am I making any sense to anybody? Okay. If I get a chance, I'm going to quote some text from the Apocrypha. I've quoted a lot of biblical texts, and I'm going to quote some other texts from other books to show that there is a symmetry that exists there. In classical metaphysics, being precedes having. You do not get and then become. You become and then experience. I'm going to say it again. You do not get and then become. You become and then experience. Abraham became and then he experienced. I'm going to say it again. Abraham became and then experienced. Did you catch that? You become and then you experience. For example, if you take the route and you want to go back to college, stop trying to figure out how to pay for something. Lord have mercy, I'm saying something. Stop trying to figure out how to pay the tuition and become the graduate. Mhm. Become the graduate. Become the graduate. In here before you enroll out there. Become the graduate first. Did y'all catch that? The book says about Abraham, he staggered not at the promises of God through unbelief, but is strong in faith, and he gave glory to God. He didn't stagger, he didn't waver. He believed that he was going to impregnate his wife, whether he could get it up or not. All right. Neville Goddard articulated a certain position, and he says, assumption, if persisted in, becomes fact. I put that up on the screen many times before. Again, this is an extraction from the biblical text. Yeshua said, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believe. What things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe. That's an assumption that ye receive it and ye shall have it. We've quoted that text over and over and over again. Okay? I want you to understand something. Nobody, hear what I'm saying today. Hear what I'm saying today. Hear what I'm saying today. Assumption that persisted in become facts. You might be considered to be crazy. I've heard so many testimonials from people whose family didn't believe in them, whose friends didn't believe in them, whose peer group didn't believe in them, but they had a solid bedrock faith. Watch this. They assumed they were that successful person. Hear me. Allow the Creator, allow God to guide them skillfully based on who they had become, and the thing manifested on their behalf. The thing happened, it showed up in their lives externally to prove that it already existed in them internally first. If if you persist in what you assume, it becomes a fact in a positive sense and in a negative sense. So we interpret this metaphysically, but its power lies in its psychological and behavioral mechanics. Family, an assumption is not a wish. It's not a wish. It is an internalized expectancy. It is an internalized expectancy. Hear what I'm saying. It is what you take for granted as true, but who you are, what is possible, what is normal for someone like you. It is internalized expectancy. Oh, I love it. 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 The text tells us in Hebrews 11:1 from the biblical perspective. Now, faith, watch this, is the substance, the hypostasis. It is the substance. It is the assurance, hear me, of things what? Hoped for. What is hope? The expectation. Assumption is internalized expectation. So when we are assuming new identities, we're not wishing. We're not throwing in a dartboard hoping that it hit the center target. No. We're exercising as divine spiritual being the power over space, time, and matter, again, given to us by the Spirit, given to us by the source, to be able to operate this way. Yeshua said on many occasions, he didn't say I healed you. He said on one occasion, on multiple occasions, your faith is what made you whole. Your faith. There are people who are still alive today because their faith superseded that of the doctors. It superseded that of family who had already given up on them. It was their faith. So you have to have an internalized expectancy. When an assumption is persisted in family, several predictable processes occur. And I can't get through all of them because I took some time to do the announcements. Can I do a few of these? Can I give you some predictable processes that occur? when we assist in a assumption, when we persist in an assumption. Can I give y'all a couple? Can I give y'all a couple? I just want to give you a couple. I just want to give you a couple. All right. I just want to give you a couple. Then again, I want to hear your testimonies, because when you apply these spiritual principles and they work, you get to say, yes, they work. All right. My niece, who's watching me, needed another place to stay quickly and immediately. She's on here now. And she had moments like we all do, anxiety, the money wasn't there, it looks like it wasn't going to work out, blah, 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 so forth and so on. And I paused doing what I was doing to just help continue to anchor her in her persistence of manifesting from the end. Faith lives in the end. It don't live in the middle, don't live in the beginning. Faith doesn't care about circumstances. It doesn't care about what people say. It doesn't care about what your bank account looks like. Faith is divine, connected to a divine God, a divine being, connected to all spiritual beings. But again, we do this in partnership and in concert with the creator, source, and sustainer. So that faith is supernatural. That faith is omnipotent. And the money came along with a cascade of other events after the money came. Catch what I'm saying today. And hear what I'm saying. Folks may not always like how you move. Okay. But one thing folk need to recognize is, if you're moving with divine assistance, instead of them saying, being critical of how you move and what you're leaving behind, they ought to be asking, how did you get out of this? How is it that I'm watching you get out of 20 situations? How is it that I'm watching you get out of stuff that other folks are succumbing to, that other people are losing at? You ought to be asking the question, how did you do that? We have to be persistent. Okay, thank y'all for the permission. Let me give you a couple. Number one is behavioral changes. Number one is behavioral changes. I feel something moving. I feel something moving right now. I got to calm myself. I'm preaching to you and me. The number one, type behavior changes. Behavior changes. Number one, behavior changes. Type that in the comment section for me. Behavior changes. This is the first predictable process that occurs. Behavior changes. Psychology demonstrates that beliefs shape action. Hear me. We act according to what we believe. If you think that you have lost, you act like you lose. Have you ever watched a team, even before the game was over, you could see their body language said that I'm done, that we're done? All right? Because their belief created an action in their body that we can see as body language. Albert Bandura's theory of self-efficacy shows that what people believe they are capable of strongly predicts what they attempt and persist in. I'm gonna say it again. What people believe they are capable of strongly predicts what they attempt and persist in. And here's a quote from him from 1997, self-efficacy. People's beliefs about their capabilities influence the courses of action they choose. People's beliefs about their capabilities influence the courses of actions they choose. Let me put that up in the comment section for you. Now, hear what I'm saying today. This is what I want you to catch. This is what I want you to catch. This is what I want you to catch right here. There are a lot of people in the scripture, in the biblical text, who went to Yeshua. Yeshua didn't go to them. They went to Yeshua. You know why? Because of their beliefs. Their beliefs that Yeshua was capable. But they also believed that their belief was capable to give them audience and access to the master. Did you catch what I'm saying? To position themselves to see a miracle manifest in their lives. You and I move through the world. We commit certain actions or inactions. We participate in certain activities or non-activities based on what we believe. You do it every day when you're shopping online or shopping in the store. If your belief is, I don't have enough money, I cannot replace this money, then you do not spend the money. Wow. If you've been hurt and wounded, if you've opened your heart and exposed it to somebody who tried to rip it out and stomp on it, your belief is, I got to guard my heart and protect my heart because people can't be trusted. So you act distrustful, you act dysfunctional, you act distant, you act at times disconnected and indifferent emotionally. Did you catch that? That belief affected your course of action. Catch this, catch this. If your belief says that the Creator shall supply all of my needs, then you have a belief that even if your needs are not on the table, sitting on the table in front of you, that they are already supplied by infinite riches in the infinite glorious storehouses, invisible, intangible storehouses. So you make moves based on beliefs. Catch me. Am I making any sense to anybody? This must be good because y'all quiet and I can't see if you're liking and hearting on, giving likes on YouTube or not. Catch this. When you assume yourself to be competent, worthy, or successful, you naturally take different risks. Did you hear that? You tolerate discomfort longer. You respond differently to obstacles. Hear me. People who are confident seem to sit up more with their back straight, and they stand with their back straight, and they make contact language, and they hold their heads up high. Come on here, somebody. And people, again, who assume themselves to be competent and worthy, they're willing to take risk, knowing that there is an ability within them, there's a power within them. Come on now. There's a partnership, even when if it's with God, whatever their resources available, whatever it is they believe, they don't mind taking a risk. And folk will be standing back on the sidelines saying, why you take that risk? There's a beautiful soul watching me now who picked up from one city and moved to another city with two young children. And by the grace of the Creator, in partnership with her, made it 4 years. Everybody don't understand moves like that. Even folk who say, act like they are deep spiritually, don't understand. Hear what I'm saying today. And even though we have parts of us that don't measure up, there are certain times parts of us that do emerge that say, with God's help, with the source's help, with the divine's help, I'm going to make it. I'm going to survive. I'm willing to launch out into this deep. Hear me. You can tolerate discomfort longer. Did y'all catch what I just said? You can tolerate discomfort longer. Yes, because you recognize it's a setup. You're saying in yourself, my body, my time. You're saying within yourself, I've already seen the outcome, and I'm just going to keep working this angle. I'm going to keep working this job. I'm going to keep working this position. Come on now. I'm going to keep working wherever this tight, what appears to be a tight place, because I recognize that expansion is here for me. I'm already expanded within, and I believe based on what I've seen and based on what I know and based on what's in me and based on who I'm connected to, that this thing works together for my good. Watch this. So I'm going to hang in there because this is not my destined salary. I'm going to hang in there. This is not my destined position. Did you catch what I just said? I'm going to hang in there. It doesn't make a difference who talks about me. It doesn't make a difference who talks against me. It doesn't make a difference who's not in alignment with me. I have enough belief in who I am created to be and who I am have evolved to, and whose I belong to understand and recognize that nothing can truly stop me unless I believe it. You assume yourself to be competent, worthy, or successful, you naturally respond differently to obstacles. I'm going to do one more and I'm going to be done. You respond differently to obstacles. Am I making any sense to anybody? Come on now, talk to me. Am I making any sense to anybody? Hear what I'm saying today. Hear what I'm saying today. Hear what I'm saying today. Obstacles. Watch this. Obstacles are not really a sign that you're doing something bad. And I know we want to put that devilish figure in there all the time. Listen. Many times we invite a devilish figure to the party because we're expecting something to try and stop us and something to try and block us. But what if you develop the mindset that, again, it's working for my good? What if you develop the mindset that even if somebody had a sinister intention, that God in me and God with me is going to make sure that it works out in my favor? Come on here, somebody. What if you develop the faith that when you believe, it always works? What if you develop the faith that you've never been left nor forsaken? What if you develop the faith that even if a situation finds itself at crunch time, that you are clutch in your decision making? Watch this. You are grounded in your faith, and you are never ever. What if that was your mindset? Did y'all catch what I just said? And just like that person picked up and moved and has marvelously made it, I need you to hear what I'm saying. You too have to have enough faith within yourself that if God be for me, meaning if God be in me, if God be on my side, who can be against me? I got to stop. Can I do one more? Tell me if I can do one more now. Let me look at my time. I did do some announcements for about 15 minutes. Can I do one more? Can I do one more? Tell me yes if I can do one more now. Can I do one more and then I'm going to shut it down? Can I do one more and then I'm going to shut it down? My goodness, my goodness. That's right, that's right. I want you to type it in the comment section. It worked, past tense, in my favor. Come on, type that in the comment section. It worked in my favor. And the reason why I want you to type past tense, because that's faith language. And some of y'all might be looking at situations and circumstances that's developing while I'm speaking. And I need you to know that that situation has already worked in your favor. Oh, I hope somebody's hearing what I'm saying right now. It has already worked in your favor. Have you ever thought that you missed out on a deal only to find a better deal? Come on here, somebody. Has anybody ever stood you up only for somebody better to show up? Some of us needed to be stood up so that somebody better could show up. I'm going to say it again. Some of us needed to be stood up so somebody better could show up. I'm going to say it one more again. Some of us needed to be stood up by that man, stood up by that woman, stood up by that job. Come on here, somebody. Stood up by that assistant, stood up by that family member, so something better could show up. Has it ever happened to you? You were looking at one car and it didn't work out for you and end up getting a better car. Catch me, family. It worked. It worked in your favor. I got one yes. Did I just only get one yes to do one more? Look like I just got one yes, and that's from Chris. Do I have any more? Let's see. Do I have any more? Anybody else can? Yeah. Can I do one more? Okay, Chris gave me that's enough. That's enough. That's all I need is her opinion, her contribution, her opinion. Okay. Number 2, type energy shifts. Energy shifts. Type energy shifts. Type shifts. Give me a few minutes and I'm gonna be done with this. Type energy shifts. My. Sometimes hear what I'm saying today. Hear what I'm saying today. Years ago when I was going through that chronic pain and I was going to see that urologist and I had canceled one appointment. I had canceled one appointment. And notice and mind you, note this, family, I had many appointments with urologists and I was still in pain over the course of like 5 years. And I tried to avoid that, nurse practitioner. And I was supposed to see the urologist that day. Watch this, and end up seeing a nurse practitioner. And I almost left when the nurse practitioner came into the room. I'm thinking, man, I do not want to see this nurse practitioner. Give me a doctor. Give me a doctor. That nurse practitioner changed my life because she ordered a test. Family, she ordered a test that even the urologist hadn't ordered all the months I had been going. And what they found on that test is what turned my life around, that reversed 5 years of chronic pain. Did you catch what I just said? Sometimes where you think the blessing is, it's not. Sometimes it's a holdover. Sometimes it's a supplement. Sometimes it's seasonal. I need you to hear what I'm saying. It dried up purposely. Catch this, so that you could get to your wealthy place. Did you catch? You did not fail. It was just time for you to transition. It was just time for you to move on. Lord have mercy. Energy shifts. They are both effective and psychological. They are effective and psychological. So from a psychophysiological perspective, identity assumptions or assuming that identity regulate or regulates the nervous system. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory explains that perceived safety or threat alters emotional tone, posture, voice, and presence. Did you catch that? Perceived safety. So hear me. If you believe you're safe, your emotional tone is different. Your posture is different. The way the frequency of your voice is different. The sound of your voice is different. And the way you show up in presence is different. But if you feel threatened or you're operating in fear, that fear can be felt in your emotions, can be demonstrated in your through your emotions. The way you move about, it shows up in your posture. We can hear it and feel it and sense it in your voice and in your presence. The study goes on to say a person who assumes safety, worth, and capability operates from a regulated nervous system, what many spiritual traditions call higher vibration, but which science recognizes as parasympathetic dominance and emotional coherence. So, in other words, when you and I assume that we are safe and secure, or the opposite, that we are in fear or there's a threat on our lives, it affects the kind of energy that's operating in our bodies and the energy that we put out in the world. I need y'all to catch what I'm saying today. I need you to hear me real clearly. I need you to hear me real clearly. We've got to learn how to do the inner work, family, to overcome fear. We've got to do the inner work to find a place to recognize that we are worthy. Hear what I'm saying today. We've got to position ourselves. We've got to position ourselves correctly, where we are walking by faith as a dynamic spiritual species and not by sight, that we're walking by the Spirit, that we're walking through the eye of the Spirit, through the realm of the Spirit, through the dimension of the Spirit, and not based on what we see. Hear me. Paul tried to show us that what you see in the natural comes from the invisible. The visible realm is from the natural, and he was attributing that to a creator, a big G. But I want you to understand that we are creators and co-creators too. And the things we see in the natural come from us in the invisible. Hear me, family, today. Doing the work might mean we got to shift our cognitive energy. We've got to shift our mental energy. Because when we show up in poise, we show up in a power. When we show up when faith to conquer and to master, we show up in a power. And not only do we show up in a power, but our presence, family, exudes an energy. Our presence transmits an energy into the world. Has anybody ever walked into a room and you immediately noticed them in a room full of people? And it wasn't because they were handsome or beautiful, but there was something different about them. Has that ever happened to you? Some of y'all have been the one that the folk looked at, because that day you walked in with a confidence. You walked in with an aura, as they would say. You walked in with a presence. Ooh, I feel this so strongly right now. And I want you to understand. I want you to understand and recognize, and I'm shutting it down, that when assumption is persisted in, the second predictable factor is an energy shift. So whatever we assume is going to shift our energy. It's either going to shift energy in a positive way or shift energy in a negative way. Wow. I got to shut it down today, family. I got to let you go. Let me say a quick prayer over you. Tell me what you thought about the teaching tonight. Almighty, I'm so thankful and grateful for everybody who tuned in. Thank you. We are doing the work. We're doing the inner work. We're recognizing, even right now from this teaching, that when we assume the best, we move differently, we react differently, we respond differently, we plan differently, and even our energy is filled with that. And I give you praise and glory that you are challenging people to shift their energy so that they can walk in on dimensional planes and realities that are above where they are now, and where they can start aligning and causing things in their reality to align with who and where they are in you. I thank you and I praise you for healing, wholeness, the manifestation of abundance, abundance of love, joy, peace, finances, forgiveness, reconciliation, physical healing, physical healing, physical healing of the heart, of the lungs, of the liver, physical healing of joints, physical healing of bones. Thank you for the energy shift, the power shift of faith in them that tells God and created the creator order that I am the healed, that I am the whole, WHOLE, that I am. By the grace of God, Paul said, I am that I am. And by faith, we thank you. And we remember the name, the power, the consciousness, and the way of Yeshua HaMashiach. It is so, and so it is. All right, family, tell me what you're thinking. I got to release you. How you feeling? How you feeling? Tell me how you're feeling. Talk to me real quickly. Talk to me real quickly. How you feeling? How you feeling? Oh, look like my brother Andrew was on Patreon. I just noticed it. All right. Love you, my brother Brian. Be calling you soon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? I'm going to release you. Anybody else? Mm. I sense a shift. Listen to me. Doing the inner work creates the shift. Everybody that's talking about a shift and everybody's talking about a new season. Again, you're not going to experience a new season with an old you. You got to be willing to shift. One of the powerful things I love about the biblical text is that before that God decides he's going to elevate that subject, that person, that patriarch, the name changes. Jacob, or Jacob in Hebrew, was believed to be a favored. But when he's to become a prince over a nation, we see in the text, the name is changed, which indicates an energy change. Did you catch that? An identity shift means an energy shift. Did you hear that? Now he's going to exude and manifest everything according to the name that gave him a new identity. Oh my goodness, I hear this. I hear this. I hear this. I feel this so strong. I feel this so strong. You're shifting in identities and don't apologize for it. Stop apologizing to people for your shift. You're not who you used to be. You're not going to tolerate what you used to because you're not that you anymore. Stop reaching back to the old you just to fit a conversation, just to fit a gap. You can't go back to that. You got to forget those things which are behind and reach forward to those things which are before. You're pressing toward the mark. The high calling in Christ is Christ consciousness. I need you to catch that. Your elevation is in the mind of God, the mind of Christ. That mind that is constantly purging, cleansing, recreating, restoring, and elevating you is present. Oh, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I sense it so strong. And I'm telling you right now, family, I have committed myself to a new level, a new dimension. I have been the one holding up my own abundance, my own success, my own prosperity. It has been me. But I'm encouraging you, do not just let the first 30 to 60 days be days that you're inspired. Make this calendar year where every day is a day of inspiration for you. Every day is a day of transformation for you. Every day you log in, when I say log in to consciousness or log in to being conscious from the unconscious state of sleep to the conscious state. And then from the conscious state where you log out, even when you log out, you are plugged in to do the work. I feel this so strong. If you take this advice, by the end of this calendar year, everything about you will have changed and changed for the better. Love y'all so dearly. I want you to see the giving opportunities. And yes, we still sow seeds here. We give offerings. We believe in sowing and reaping. We believe in giving and receiving. You are listening to a giver. You are talking to a giver. You are talking with a giver. And whenever you can give to this, to me or this platform, it is a good place to give. And I pray over every donation that's given. All right. Love y'all. I'm going to release you with the shalom blessing. Appreciate you, Melvin. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing, nothing broken. It is so. So it is. Thank you for being a part of this journey of awakening and transformation. Support the Light Through Revolution, Inc. by liking, sharing, and giving. Cash App $AG Green and $AG Green Enterprises. You can also give by Zelle. Anthony G. Green at hotmail.com is what you use. And Chime $Anthony/Green/336. If you haven't joined as a member of Patreon, now is a good time. We're a spiritual community that's evolving, transforming, and ascending. If you like what you have seen and heard, connect with us. It's time to vibe with your tribe. Also, take time to visit theaggreen.com for the latest developments and explore divinespeciesshop.com for spiritual tools to elevate your life. Your love and support helps keep this mission alive.